According to you, which is the best opening move in a chess game?
London system, because it is balanced, not too aggressive, not too defensive.
That's what your approach in life is.
Not really, but that is what works for me in chess.
Please draw the graph for e raised to x.
So I don't really know the graph.
Draw it for 10 raised to x.
You know nothing about graphs. The way you are shifting with your answers, I don't know it's going to play very well with you. 3 reasons to not select you today.
May I come in, sir?
Yes. Have a seat. So, good afternoon. Can you tell us something about yourself?
So I'm Reyaansh S. I've been preparing for IPMAT for the last 2 years. I'm really passionate about sports, both playing and watching them. I've been playing chess since the age of 4. Other than that, I like reading. I like watching movies a lot, and it's good to be here.
Okay, so, you mentioned something about Wharton Global Investment Championship and doing intensive analysis to build $250,000 investment plan for a client.
Yes.
So, what is it all about?
So we had participated as a team from Jai Hind College in the Wharton Global competition. We were given a client, an American sports person who runs an NGO, and we were given $250 to invest for 10 years with a particular outcome for him. And we had to devise a plan, including equity, debt, as well as cash and all kinds of treasury, gold, and commodities and all, to make a proper plan for him to invest for those 10 years.
So, when it comes to commodities, so is it like trading in commodities or?
It is not trading, it is more of long-term investment. So commodities were more of a hedge than.
So, on what basis you decided, say, so many percent for equity, so many percent for debt?
So the basis was the need for his returns. He wanted to build houses in Africa to give back to society, for which and he wanted some money to be taken out of the portfolio every year. So according to that, we had to decide liquid funds and more aggressive or protective funds.
So, on what basis you select the industries for investing in either equity or debt?
The industries that we debt, the only option we had was US Treasury bills. Yeah. Well, as for equity, the industries that we selected were more aggressive and future-based industries like biotech, or since our client wanted to build houses, we also went into real estate industries and rights and all.
So, can you speak on environmental concerns of data centers?
Yeah, we have been hearing about the amount of water the data centers require for cooling, and it has been increasing day by day. Along with that, a large amount of carbon dioxide is also released every year from these data centers, which require a lot of training as well as training to work. And I think a shift to more renewable or eco-friendly sources would be better for all of us.
Why is it a concern? As a planet, are we short of water?
No, but the amount of fresh water that is being used for the cooling centers is an excess.
Why do we require only fresh water?
Because fresh water is relatively very less as compared to the ocean water that we have.
Why do we require only fresh water for cooling?
Because the salty water with minerals in it does not work as well for the cooling process.
My question is why?
I don't know that right now, sir.
Should have been your answer before. According to you, which is the best opening move in a chess game?
I open with the London system, Because it is balanced, not too aggressive, not too defensive.
That's what your approach in life is.
Uh, Not really, but that is what works for me in chess.
Okay. What's your FIDE rating?
I haven't got one yet, but I have been trying to get one.
Not good enough.
I have not played enough.
Where do you see yourself 7 years down the line?
7 years down the line, I want to be somewhere I can pick up a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge, a lot of hands-on analytical thinking, because ultimately my goal is to create something, to build something. And for that, I need to require a lot of experience on how businesses work, on how products work, on how systems work overall. And 7 years down the line, I see myself gaining a lot of experience to be able to build something that is worth something.
Why do you want to come to my college if you want experience?
Because the college is extremely rigorous with students around me that make me push myself along with the uh, course plan, which is also made to it is rigorous, and it makes you think analytically, using projects, case studies, internships, and prepares you for the kind of experience that you need.
Okay.
So, what are the different methods of charging depreciation?
There is a fixed method and then a fluctuating method. So the fixed method is basically one. Let's say, for example, it is 10%, decided at 10%, and my amount is 10 lakhs. So every year 1 lakh will be deducted. While the fluctuating method is, even though it is 10%, if for the first year 1 lakh is deducted, then the second year from the new amount of 9 lakhs, 90,000 will be deducted.
Which is better or more realistic?
The more realistic one is the fluctuating one.
And why do we use the first one? Where is it used rather?
On assets whose value doesn't on non-depreciating assets, according to me.
On non-depreciating assets, we will use a method of depreciation.
No, I meant on assets whose value doesn't depreciate as quickly, like let's say a building or a piece of land.
So, how much depreciation you charge on a land?
According to what we learned, it was around 10% for most of our sums, but I don't really have the real world number with me right now.
Now, take a situation. You have a piece of machinery, originally bought at 10 lakh. Yeah? And you charge 10% depreciation, or rather, let's say fixed depreciation of 1 lakh every year. 5 years down the line, you sell the machine for 6 lakhs. So, how will the accounting treatment be done? So, every year and at the end of, so when you sell the machinery.
So for the 5 years, I will be deducting 10% each.
1 lakh each.
1 lakh each. And at the end of the 6 years, I will the value of the machine in my books is now 5 lakhs. So the amount, the 1 lakh will go as a profit in my P&L account. 5 lakh will be deducted from machinery, and 6 lakh will be added to cash or bank or.
So which account you will credit, which account you will debit?
So the cash or bank account will be debited, and the machinery account will be credited, along with the profit and loss account will be credited.
So what are the golden rules of accounting?
For a nominal account, it is for a personal account, it is debit the receiver, credit the giver. For a real account, it is debit what comes in, credit what goes out. And for a nominal account, it is all profits and losses are credited, and also all profits are credited, and all losses and expenses are debited.
Can a profit-making company file for insolvency?
I don't know if they can. I don't have that information with me, but they usually don't. If a partner dies, they might have to do that.
That's all.
Or I think they can file for insolvency even if they're making a profit.
Okay. Can I be making profits and have my cash flow zero?
I'm not sure about that.
Why is generally debt considered to be a safer investment than equities?
Because it is backed by the government. So government debt and all is backed by the government, and secure the fluctuation in equity is quite more than debt. What do you find in debt?
So if I get a government to back my company, it will be safer.
And if you have better ratings, it might be safer than an equity investment.
Can you tell me the difference between a share and a debenture?
A share is a small part that you buy of a company, of a joint stock company, for which they give you a decided amount of profit, or and whose price increases or decreases with the valuation of the company. While a debenture is basically a loan, a small loan that you give out to the company or government or whoever is putting out the debentures.
So in return of that, I'm going to get something. No?
You're going to get an interest for the amount of money you loaned.
But I don't have any rights on the company.
No.
Sure.
You don't have a right to their profits.
Okay. Have you heard of this thing called cash-based accounting?
Not really.
Not really. Very good. Okay. What's your view on de-dollarization?
I don't have a lot of information about that, but from what I've heard, it might be a good thing because of the monopolistic behavior of the dollar.
So you said you don't have much information on it and still claim that there is monopolistic behavior of dollar.
From what I've heard and from the little information that I've read in newspapers or articles.
In what way?
Because the amount of influence and pressure that the United States economy can put on any country is quite high, and the amount of dollar reserves, the dollar trade that is being done, and it is nearly a substitute for gold as a hedge, which is in the long run a huge advantage for the US economy.
No, but why do we need dollars at all? So can any country say that, don't care about dollars?
Not really, because a lot of trade like oil or a lot of trade that is being done is usually done in dollars. And like I said, it is also a hedge.
Why?
Because
Why can't I buy oil from Russia in Russian currency or in Indian currency? Why does a dollar or US as a third party have to come in between at all?
You can do that. But you cannot buy all your oil from Russia. You have to.
Why?
Because it is, you should always have you should not never have all your eggs in one basket. If something happens to the Russian economy, there were sanctions, there's something, then it might take you down with them.
So I can pay in Indian rupees. No, what's the problem?
You can, but the seller also has to agree with that. And the way the Indian rupee is going right now, it is difficult that the seller would agree to accept payment in Indian rupees as opposed to the dollar.
So if I come to you as a client and you have to advise me on, say, next 10 years, how should I go about my investment? So what is your advice?
First of all, I would ask you what is your long-term goal and what age category the client is, if they are younger and they have a higher risk appetite, or they are comparatively nearer to the end of their career and want a safer investment. So I would have to know what are the aims of the client and then create a strategy accordingly.
How many different money markets exist?
There is the securities market. I think the commodity is also a part of money market, and I don't know much about other ones.
Any latest news on commodities market that you are aware of?
Not really, no. For the competition and for all our research, the only commodities we were allowed were metals like gold, silver, or platinum, something like that.
So, which subjects in IIM Rohtak IPM syllabus appeal to you most?
Sir, one of the most important subjects that I've been learning and have been most excited for is economics. Even though I have a lot to learn in that, it is something that excites me and something that I look forward to.
So, can you name some Nobel laureates in economics?
There's our own Amartya Sen. I know about the early economists like Alfred Marshall or let's say Adam Smith, but I'm not sure if they were Nobel laureates.
Alfred Marshall and Adam Smith. So, what was the timeline that we are looking at?
That is about 2 centuries ago.
So, did Nobel Prize exist that time?
No, sir.
Okay. So, Adam Smith has written a very seminal book in economics. So, can you name that?
Adam Smith, it's related to wealth.
Wealth of Nations.
I think so.
Any important quote from that?
No, sir. I don't really know about that right now.
Okay. So, what is his overall thesis of Adam Smith?
So I've not really dived deep into that, but from whatever I learned in my 2 years at college, I know that much about them for now. But I'm excited to dive deep into economics and the types of economists once I start my course.
Please draw the graph for e raised to x.
So I don't really know the graph for e raised to x right now.
Draw it for 10 raised to x.
So I've not really revised my graphs.
Really or absolutely?
Absolutely, sorry.
You know nothing about graphs.
I had studied for them for the IPMAT test, but recently I've not been in touch with them.
Okay. Suppose there are 60 students in a class. And what is the probability that at least 2 of them have birthdays on the same date? So I'm not looking for the exact answer, but how would you solve this question?
60 students in a class, and so there are 365 days in a year, and it's about a sixth. So I really need some. I don't really know for now, but if I think about that, I could do it.
So think, do.
Sir, once I learn the method, after that I will be able to solve it. I don't really know the method right now because there are a lot of variables for this question.
Really? Are independent events always mutually exclusive? And is vice versa also true?
Not really. Independent events can be overlapping as well.
Example.
Let's say you toss a coin and you get a head. For the second time you toss a coin, it is an individual event. The first toss doesn't matter, but you can still get a head or a tail.
So it's not exclusive.
It's not exclusive.
Why?
Because you can still get the same result the second time.
Acha, that's your definition of exclusive events, that you will have the different results.
That is what I know right now, sir.
Okay, very good. Difference between, or rather, what's a better real world indicator? Average, median, or mode?
Median.
Why?
Because it talks to us about the frequency of people getting frequency of that result, while mean is just for if I take an example of the salary one is getting from the college, then only one high salary can impact the mean and one low salary can do that. But for the median, a number of salaries have to be more frequent. So that is a better indicator.
Are you sure you're talking about median and not mode?
I'm sorry.
What is mode?
Mode is the frequency of something, but median is the middle value. And since the middle value is of more, I think the mode might be a better indicator of real world situations, because it has a higher frequency of.
So if everybody gets a different salary, I'll still use mode.
No, then you would shift to a median, because that is the central salary that you're getting.
Okay. The way you are shifting with your answers, I don't know it's going to play very well with you. Okay. Anyway, 3 reasons to not select you today.
3 reasons, because I've not been up to date with some of my economic knowledge-based questions, and so which is something I look forward to improve, but for now I have not been able to do them, and I don't feel my voice is as confident as I expected it to be, along with I could not draw the graphs, and a lot of stuttering that has occurred.
So this particular interview is the basis for your entire elimination, is what you feel. So all your 3 reasons are from this particular interview only.
I thought that was the question of what is going wrong.
That's the reason, one more reason for not selecting, not understanding the questions. What value do you think you will add to the institute if at all you get selected?
If I get selected, something I am looking forward to is not just the package or something. I really want to add some value. I really want to build something, create something.
Question is what?
That is something I've not figured out, but I believe that as soon.
Thank you. Do you have any more questions?
No.
Okay. Thank you. Your name you said was Reyaansh.
Reyaansh.
Thank you, Reyaansh. Okay, Reyaansh. So I think you more or less summed up your interview in your answer, but still, how would you rate it on a scale of 5?
4.
4? You still give 4 on a scale of 5?
Oh no, I 2.
Interview is over. You don't have to be nervous now.
A 2. Yeah.
Okay, that's more like it. Okay. So you want to go first?
See, what I believe is overall you are a good student, but somehow that did not get reflected in the interview. See, because some of the answers that you have written, no? So have you written the answers yourself?
Yeah.
Or ChatGPT?
No.
Sure.
Yeah.
No, because some of the points that you have mentioned, that why you want to get into consulting, and some students don't have that kind of clarity even after CAT. And if you have that clarity at this point, when you are just done with 12th standard, that is really good. You need to capitalize on that. Somehow that did not get reflected in the answers. Yeah. Now,
in fact, just to add on to that point, your biggest or rather the most interesting point about yourself was the Wharton challenge, which did not even come up in your answer. Sir had to specifically ask you. That should be your biggest point that you should leverage while talking about yourself. So as soon as you came in, we actually gave you a full toss by asking, tell me something about yourself. And you could not make use of it at all. That's the problem. So it has to be absolutely. You need to work a lot on it. But after a certain point, I felt like you were short of talking things about yourself. You were like, okay, I'm done. Now what else? Types. That's the feeling that came across.
Okay.
So you know Wharton?
Yeah.
And how prestigious that institute is, right? That institute is known for finance.
Yes.
and you participated in their championship, their global investment championship. So it means something. At the level of 12th standard, not too many students have this kind of achievement. So we definitely want to capitalize on that and mention that, and also talk a little bit about it. What was it all about? So just because I happen to have this form in front of me and I saw that you participated in this, I ask you some questions. And if you just let it go, if you don't mention it at all, then you will miss out on a lot of, the really good point in your profile. Exactly. And then
Also, just sorry to cut you. One more thing, when sir asked you about that event, what you explained was what the event was. What I was expecting was what you did in that event. That is the playground for you, no? Why we are not here, you and me are not here to talk about Wharton's event. You are here to sell yourself to me. I am here to understand you as a person. Why are we talking about Wharton's event? Your answer has to be about what great you did in that event and what was your takeaway from that event. How did it add value to you as a person? That has to be your answer. It cannot be about this was the event, these are the rules, and that were the rules.
Okay.
Then you also did internship at Bornbazar.
Yeah.
So where was that in the introduction? Do you think all students have some internship experience at 12th standard level?
No, sir.
So capitalize on that.
Sir, can I use this paper?
Yeah, sure.
I'll just note it down, whatever you're saying.
Yeah. And when I ask you some questions related to the basis for investment when you created that portfolio, and also later on I ask you that if I were to approach you as a client, then how would you go about it? So some of the answers that you gave were like good, because you have to understand what the client is looking for, first of all. And in that, sports personality was looking for taking out some money every year. So accordingly, you had some allocation for bond portfolio, right? So that was good. Now, the difference between equity and debt. So debt has that fixed returns, but moreover, debt doesn't give you ownership in the company. Equity gives you part of ownership.
Yes.
So that very important aspect that didn't come out. And then when sir asked you a question about de-dollarization, and you mentioned that you don't know much about it, but still monopolistic behavior or whatever of US dollar.
Sir, I actually didn't research that topic completely. But
Then that's fine. But you say that you don't know much about it, and then later on write in the next sentence that because of this reason some problems are happening. So now you see the disconnect between the two.
So I should be more confident about that.
Yeah, and I conducted 2 sessions from last week, and the second session was on de-dollarization. So covered entire history, economics, everything related to that.
Yes, sir.
Yes, watch the recordings of that. Then, see, the moment you mention Adam Smith and Alfred Marshall, so Alfred Marshall, that way, of course, he was a great economist of his time, but Adam Smith was a completely different category altogether. So you can expect questions on me.
Yeah, that was, I realized as soon as I mentioned them that it was a bit of a mistake. So if next time I'm mentioning them, I'll have some more information ready.
So know what you're talking about. Otherwise, you are inviting trouble for yourself. Don't do that. Then, birthday problem. That what is the probability of having 2 birthdays on the same day? Right? So that is 1 minus probability that everybody has birthday on different days. Right? So first person can have birthday on any of the 365 days. Second person can have it on 364 days, and so on. So 365 into 364 into 363 ... versus 60 terms. So that this is the numerator. What is the denominator? The sample space is 365 raised to 60. Okay. Because any person can have birthday on any of the 365 days. So that is a sample space. So how does numerator look like?
So numerator would be 365, 364, 363.
So how does it look like?
Sorry?
What will it turn out into?
Something like permutation, 365 P60. Okay.
So actually permutation, combination and probabilities was one of my,
Weakest areas. Clearly.
because we didn't have a strong base for that in college, and
No, these are excuses. You had all the time in the world to prepare, and you still have, and you should. If you don't know, you say you don't know, and you say you haven't read. Don't give me the excuse of we were not taught well, we were not given enough time, we were not this and that.
I was not able to.
Get out of the whole narrative of this happened to me.
No, I was not able to make a strong base in college, and that has caused a bit of problem.
So you'll have to make it now.
Yes, sir.
And mathematics also in generally.
Yes, sir.
And why IPM course? So that answer, you know. And one other question that I ask you: which course appeals to you most? You know, so somehow, you know, that did not come out very well, and that is when the discussion on Wealth of Nations and Adam Smith started. So you are already talking about why you want to get into consulting. Because you want to, so that will give you an opportunity to work on different aspects of the business and work with different clients, understanding their needs and solve their questions. This is exactly what you will be doing in IPM. Understand about different functionalities of business, understand markets. Huh?
Okay, sir.
So you will learn about all these things and you feel curious. You find all these aspects very interesting. That's why you want to go for IP.
I'll build that answers better.
So if you already have that clarity, then bring it into answers.
Yes.
So if there is a disconnect between the way you think and the way you speak, see, they are going to notice the way you speak. They will not say how the way you think. So even though you have some material inside you, if it doesn't come out very well, then you will lose that opportunity. But don't let that happen with you.
So work on your answers a lot. It needs a lot of work.
I'll plan to write them down once and then.
Yes, you should. Yeah, so I'll agree with sir that when he said that you are a good student and it did not come across in the answers, that's what I also felt. And for your own sake, I genuinely hope these are not AI answers and these are your honest answers. Because then if that's the case, the only scope to work on is your articulation. You need to articulate better. You need to exactly be clear as to what part of your profile you need to mention in what kind of answers. So when do you talk about your weaknesses and when do you talk about your strengths? You have to be clear in what kind of answers. When do you talk about your extracurricular activities? How much do you talk about a particular activity? Those answers need a little work on. So as we discussed, this Wharton thing, Bornbazar thing did not come out at all because we took the pain of reading and we wanted to have this interview. Therefore, we asked. Otherwise, you had made our life very easy to just reject you immediately. If there was nothing else to be asked. If your interview does not go around this, then the only place your interview will go is your acads. And you are clearly out of your depth in your academics. So that also is going to be an issue.
I need to anchor it at something personal.
You should. In the area that you are the most comfortable to talk about. Okay, so structuring of the answers is, I think, requires work and your confidence while delivering it also. I thought you were slightly underconfident, not very much. Body language was decent, but slightly underconfident. I think it can be improved. Okay, you have any questions for us?
Not really, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Sir, I would like to ask how to refuse an answer or how to say that you don't know an answer. What is the best way to?
As nonchalantly as possible, you can say that I'm sorry, I am not prepared with this particular answer. That's all. Being honest is the most important thing, not about how we are going to put it. Like, don't be rude or don't be very, not concerned kind of a feeling, but you can definitely say that you are not prepared or you don't have an idea about this particular answer. Having said that, don't go and make the next statement as, I know it is a monopolistic behavior of dollar. So don't do that. Okay? Thank you. All the best.
Thank you. All the best.